And that's how you solve racism. By seeing the color, but you just don't care at all.
You're surrounded by pigs and bigots.
What's wrong with these guys? They're here to protect you.
No, they're not. They're not here to protect you.
Well, if somebody comes on campus and they start blasting, who you think gonna help you? Yourself? With what?
You're going to protect yourself when something happened? I don't think so. That will protect you. That's why you feel that confident to speak out like that, because you care about that black person more than he cares about himself?
Never.
They're gonna shoot you? Why are you shaking and being weird? These guys are not gonna shoot you. You upset?
I'm angry, and I'm rightfully upset.
No, you're
and
not.
angry about this
You're
situation.
upset over false reality.
People that don't like you because of your skin.
Who don't like me? These
Are you kidding me? How many white people are surrounded?
white people hate me?
What? It's you and this one person, one black guy.
So every white person hate black people?
No, but the
Do you hate
people
me?
you're with do.
You guys really believe this? You're upset over nothing. You think that white people hate me? You think these cops are gonna kill me for no reason?
Yeah, if you weren't a spokesperson.
You know how crazy that sounds?
If you weren't a spokesperson for them, they'd kill you.
They're protecting me right now. What's your whole argument is over.
I just find it odd that you're trying to not see color, but somebody is reminding you that they are seeing a color, but they are not a racist people.
No.
The media sure did their job on them. Well, kinda. Officially, all you need is a lockdown for a few years and everybody can only see internet and TikTok. That's enough.
Hey.
And that's how easily a culture can change your kids. It's a beautiful thing. Then again, it also depends what they're rapping about.
You guys don't give as much of a crap about them after they're out of the womb, right?
Well, that's not true. Why would you say that? We want to have a secure southern border so that hundreds of thousands of girls are not sold into sex slavery every single year. We want school choice so that kids can have a better education. We actually want a balanced budget so the U.S. dollar will be around for future generations. Every policy that we have is rooted in a pro-life position.
So let's move a little bit on from that. I'm not saying I've lost yet because a woman did kill her own child literally like a couple of days ago. On day of birth, 60 years in prison, as she should have.
But if she would have killed the baby while it was in the womb, it would have been okay. So why was it wrong to kill the baby outside the womb?
Just straight up less cells. Amount of cells? Gone. Biomass? That's kind of...
So wait, does someone who is older have more moral rights than a 4-year-old because they have more cells?
Depends on the person.
Okay.
Well, by that logic, all I have to do is eat a lot. Then I have more value than you.
I disagree.
You're in a forest for 24 hours. Would you rather be stuck with a man or a bear?
A man.
I am sickened, but curious.
Why? Because she understands physical strength. She's an MMA fighter. Of course they're gonna choose a man. Because a man you can lock down. You can lock down a bear.
Love you.
You're handsome. I like chocolate. Delicious. Yeah?
Do you say this because I'm black?
Yeah. Me rice, your chicken.
What?
Perfect.
And that's how you beat racism. And that's how you conquer everything. With love. If you really like chocolate and he like rice, hey, they're gonna have beautiful babies.
You like pandas?
Or like, what's the match between a gorilla and a panda? Find out in 9 months.
This couple reminds me so much of my life. Yeah, I'm a gorilla. My wife is a panda. Guess what we got? A dark white gorilla. I'm stupid, I know. But the moment you don't see everything so culturally, be careful, time bomb, there comes a relaxation and it changes your action. Venga, dilo. Remember to subscribe.
No subscribe. ¿Por qué?
Is a test case, a case study in why the Democrats fell to the position that they're in. You focus on the wrong things, you focus on purity tests, and you eat your own. And you may think it makes you better, but when it comes to winning races, it has made you worse, okay? You should have never lost to Donald Trump. You should have never lost the American flag as a party symbol. You should have never lost the mandate of the majority. You should have never stopped fighting for the working man and woman and the majority of this country. You should have never gotten in the battle of fringe interests and culture wars. Never. But you did. And what's happening with Senator John Fetterman is the new front in that war. And it is a losing battle for Democrats.
I hate you. You always ruin everything.
The moment Fetterman makes sense because you went so much to the left and now you're trying to cancel the only voice that actually speaks to the middle ground. Left-leaning Democrat people, whatever you want to call yourself. Amen. It's going to be a long, lonely battle until you realize you're...
No, you're right.
Sometimes you just need to listen to the people.
So they all went on a hike. I'm swaddled up in my hammock, and then I heard the men returning without the ladies. And I thought, that's suspicious. That is weird. And it turns out they just got tuckered out early on the hike, and they decided to come back early. So the men made a campfire. They start making their little dinners. I was pretending to be asleep because I didn't want to talk to them. And also, I was curious to hear what they were going to talk about with all the women out of the camp. And I shit you not, these men talked about pooping for 45 minutes. They started a conversation about pooping outside because we were camping, and they were all sharing their different techniques. Some liked to squat, some liked to find a friendly log, some of them liked to dig a little hole. And from there, it moved on to the biggest poops they'd ever taken in their life, the most painful poops they'd ever taken. Then they started talking about the kind of poops they got when they drank too much. Then they started talking about the smelliest poops they'd ever taken in the most public places. And every single man had their own individual story for each one of these scenarios. They were like going around the campfire sharing each of their stories.
I'm pretty sure that every single man has had this conversation with his group of guy friends.
Yes, I can confirm them. Anecdotal experience of a bunch of men come together is our reality. It's our Wikipedia.
They try to act like, oh, political violence, it's the Democrats and it's the liberals. And it's like, actually, I mean, I'm not going to say that like a left-leaning person cannot be violent, because that would be like crazy to say that somebody can't be. But baby, y'all got the white supremacists galore, okay? They're engaging in domestic terrorism. And guess what? They all align with your side. Yep. Including the KKK.
Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit.
And what do the old Democrats say about this lady?
Just straight. 69% of the people, I'm stuck on that number, I don't know, but 69% of the people going to vote are white. Of that, 48 and a half are males. So, I don't know, my rough math is 33%. Let's go out and piss off 33% of the people that vote, and that's a smart strategy. And the people that agree with her. There are people that actually agree with her. And I think these, honestly, I think these people are more trouble than they're worth.
Yep! If your own people are talking like that about the supposed representation of the Democratic Party, it's like they choose the best person to get the black vote. But then at the same time, they also say most people don't like black people. Then I'm like, aren't you stabbing yourself in the back?
This is a result from people on the left setting Teslas on fire. There have literally been Tesla dealerships shot up. There have been people arrested for throwing Molotov cocktails at Tesla dealerships. The left is very capable and has actively, like recently, within the past couple of months, shown us how violent they will get about things they don't like politically. Like, we literally have just seen this, and she's going to just ignore that and act like, no, the left doesn't ever do anything politically violent. Rather than shooting up dealerships, throwing Molotov cocktails, and, setting Teslas on fire because we don't like what Elon does. No, we never do anything violent. It's not the left. We're too good for that. We're too moral. I said it before, it still astounds me how people... I don't understand how people are taking this serious. She's lying to people's faces, just flat out, just lying to their face. But I've noticed many Democratic politicians, they rely on ignorance. They rely on people's ignorance, and they use that ignorance to fearmonger people into continuing to vote for them. Anyone with half a brain could see this and be like, yeah, she's lying. We've literally just seen the left commit domestic terrorism against Tesla. But she's out here saying this. The left is more than capable of political violence, and we've been seeing it real time in the past couple months. Do not let this woman lie to you.
Jasmine Crocker's...
I've known some very left-leaning people that are not radical, and when I point this out, well, that's just a fringe minority. And I'm like, are you sure? But in that confused state, suddenly they say, but we have the right to protest. I say, I never said that. Just don't throw Molotov. I've seen people that I like justify that if you go to a Trump rally, because he's a very bad person, if somebody tries to delete him and you're behind him and they accidentally delete you, it's your fault.
This is not a democracy, it's a cheerocracy.
If you killed a baby, that's murder. But killing a fetus isn't murder.
What species is the fetus?
Human.
Then how is it not murder?
Because it hasn't been born yet.
Why does that make it human?
Because that's when, like, it's not dependent on the mom and it can be, like, its own thing.
Babies are in NICU units, neonatal intensive care units. They're dependent. Dependency does not equal its degree of moral worth. And so I need to understand the moral consistency.
Because a fetus is like a parasite. It lives off the mom.
You think babies are parasites?
Fetuses.
Right, but a fetus literally is just a word for a human being. It's a stage of development.
Before it's born.
Right, but have you ever been to a fetus shower? Why do they call it a baby shower, not a fetus shower?
Well, yes, it's a baby, but it depends on what the mother wants.
Oh, so it is a baby, not a fetus. Got it.
All I heard right there is that if a mother wants a baby, it's a baby. But then again, if the mother doesn't want the baby and there's a car crash, I know it's a double homicide.
Mom, why do they fill that all the way to the top?
What, the drinks?
Yeah, the drink.
Because you want to get your money's worth, boy.
What? What do you mean money's worth?
When you buy something, like if I was to buy a bag of chips or a drink, they want to fill it. You want them to fill it to the top so you can get what you paid for. If they fill it halfway, you ain't getting your money's worth. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
You just spilled your money's worth.
That's not funny.
No, it is funny. The kid is smart and the kid has confidence.
Don't get me wrong, makosa tita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk creole colombici jam jam. Durloqueta verdeta welcome.